Sometimes if you're trying to develop a video marketing strategy, you need to ask yourself which context is going to drive the whole process. You got to ask yourself what are the goals you're trying to reach. You got to ask yourself what is the target audience you're trying to reach. It's really important to have, let's say, familiarity of when it comes to your target audience persona. You got to have deep familiarity with it. Okay. Sometimes we see a lot of companies, a lot of small businesses engage in a video marketing strategy or video creation strategy for that matter, and where they have no clear idea about their target audience. Okay. So very important. And too often companies jump at the opportunity to create their first video. They spend the whole budget on an explainer video for their homepage, but as soon as the project is complete, all future video plans screech to a halt. And you don't want that. And we have seen also in our research for the last 20 years, we have other businesses that churn out a slew of social videos, okay, but they often just copy fads they have seen. So their videos do not connect to their target audience challenges and pain points. So it's really important to be original. It's really important to also spend a lot of time in the brainstorming section, in the brainstorming phase, so you can actually find that connection I'm talking about. So video marketing cannot be an impulsive guessing game. It's not about trials and errors, okay? What you want to create a comprehensive video marketing strategy that applies to every part of your flywheel. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. So when we talk about the flywheel, your flywheel in terms of your video marketing strategy, start with an inbound methodology. So this is actually the marketing and sales approach that focuses on attracting customers through content and interactions that are relevant and helpful. Okay, going back to what I said, your target audience must find your content, your video helpful and relevant. And each video you create should actually address your audience's challenges and provide a solution. You want to go back to their pain points. You want to see what really is important to them. What kind of a problem are they trying to solve, right? And so when we talk about your flywheel, you need to understand you have attract, convert, close, and delight. I will speak about those 4 sections so you have a clear idea of what we're talking about. Okay, and what I want to cover in this show, the types of videos you should create for each stage in the flywheel. To start, you want to plan to create at least 2 videos for each section. Don't forget to include call to actions to help lead your audience through their purchase journey and into the role of promoter, right? They must be your brand ambassador. Over time, you can improve based on conversion rates and the content gaps that you discover. It's all about trials and errors, but you want to start. Everything must start and go back to your target audience's ideal persona. So let's first talk about the attract section. So when we talk about the flywheel, what are we talking about? We are talking about attract, convert, close, and delight. So let's speak about attract. So when you attract, you are turning strangers into visitors, right? So you have folks who are just visiting your website, or they're just trying to familiarize themselves with your products. It's all about you are trying to raise awareness. So consumers at this stage, they are identifying their challenges and deciding whether they should seek out a solution. So it's not just about checking out a product. No, it's about making sure that the product offers what they really want. So the videos you create should empathize. Okay, empathy, very important. You want to put yourself in your target audience's shoes so you can actually maybe feel how they act, you can feel how they would react if they were to be exposed to your product or solution or service. Okay, you want to empathize with their problems, with your target audience's problems, and you want to introduce a possible solution with your product or service. Everything must go back to that. The goal of this kind of video is to expand, reach, and build trust. Because you are looking to garner shares for your videos, you may want to focus on entertainment and evoking emotion. Because when we talk about videos like this, you can either educate, you can entertain, or you can actually entertain, educate, or inform. But it's important to provide enough information to establish authority on the topic while entertaining your audience. So here is the approach I want you to follow. The approach. So when we talk about the attract stage, we're talking about a constellation of videos. Here are some examples. You have short videos that show off your brand's personality. You have thought leadership videos that show your leaders are a source for industry news and insights. Okay. You have brand films that share your values and mission. You have explainers and how-to videos that provide relevant tips for solving your audience's pain point. Again, very important, okay? And as you attract a new audience, avoid speaking too much about your products. Instead, you want to let your brand values and personality take center stage, okay? And because these videos can live on a variety of channels, keep the strategies of each platform in mind, okay? I mean, if you were to, let's say, distribute a video on YouTube, your strategy might be different from a video that you want to distribute on Facebook or TikTok, for that matter. Let's now talk about converting. So we have attract, and we're now talking about convert. So once you have attracted video viewers and website visitors, it's time to convert those visitors into leads, right? Because it's very important to always have in mind your sales funnel strategy, okay? So as we go to the bottom of the sales funnel, and the angle or the size of the funnel shrinks, you need to actually think about quality. See, in the attract version, you're thinking about quantity, but as you start talking about converting to closing and delighting, we are speaking about quality. And so with most inbound marketing content, this means collecting contact information with a form, because this is where you want to gather intel about your target audiences, about your leads. And video can aid this process by offering a solution to the buyer's problem. And the goal of videos in the convert stage is to educate and excite. Okay, going back to what I said, the emotion part, this is really important, okay? And so here is a bonus for you. If you're thinking about developing a convert video, just think about these examples here. So convert videos may include a webinar filled with tactical advice, product demos sent by email. Okay, this is a great opportunity also to actually demonstrate how great your product is. Landing page promotional videos. This is another important element that you can take into account. You have case studies also. You have in-depth explainer and how-to videos. Okay, for example, while an attract video might provide a quick tip for nailing a sales pitch, a convert video could be an animated explainer video that breaks down the inbound sales methodology. Okay, when we talk about converting videos, we have to speak about granularity. You have to speak about thought leadership. You have to speak about authority. You want to establish brand authority. You want to establish thought leadership. Let's now talk about closing. So closing is also really important. You've done all the work. Okay, you should be very happy of yourself, and you have attracted a new audience with your videos. You have converted the right visitors into lead, hopefully, right? Hopefully. And it's important to always look at the quality versus the quantity. I've said this multiple times. We want to focus on quality versus quantity, because as you go down the when you think about your sales funnel, you need to think about quality, because those quality will convert into sales later on. Okay. And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about video marketing through the flywheel. Okay, I'm trying to explain to you all the different aspects you need to pay attention to. And there is a reason that 88 to 95% of marketers report positive ROI with video. Videos can explain how a product works and trigger emotions in a way that a product description cannot. I mean, I don't care how good your content marketing is. I don't really care how good your content writers are. Video actually does something that goes beyond an article, a blog article. So here is a decision I want you to really make right now. You want to commit to producing a great video, a great close video, right? Close videos that actually includes things like testimonials of customers with relatable stories. You want to have in-depth product demos, for example. This could be a great source. Culture videos that sell viewers on your quality of service. You can also have personalized videos that explain exactly how your product could help their businesses. What I want to say here is that when we talk about closed videos, it's not just about making a deal, like making a sale. Obviously, you're not running a charity. You don't have you still need to generate revenue. But think about adding value. See, if you focus on adding value in your video, if you want to have a brand that aligns with your target audience's pain points and trying to first solve a problem, what you're going to realize is that you're going to make sales no matter what. Okay, this is something that we have seen in our research for the last 25 years, that if you focus on adding value, sales will naturally flow. Okay, and you'll be making a lot of cash. It's also important to understand that the bottom line for you at this point is not just to actually have a video that sells. You want to have a video that actually converts even beyond the video. That's what we call the post-purchase. I will speak about that later on, but the post-purchase section is really important. The interactions you create, the memories. Okay, it's not about that sale. I mean, you probably you made a sale. The customer paid you a certain price, or okay, whatever. But if you want to keep that customer coming back and back and back and back, you got to have a strategy that goes beyond that sale. You got to have a continuum of experiences. Let's talk about delighting. And this is important because as I want to deepen the conversation around continuum of experiences, continuum of memories, continuum of interactions, it's important that when you close a sale, video can also improve the post-conversion stage of your flywheel. Okay, during the delight stage of the inbound methodology, your goal is to continue providing remarkable content to users that add value to their experience with your product or service. Okay, and it's really important to always keep your customers in mind. You also want your customers to tell their connections about their experience or promote your brand themselves. Okay, going back to brand ambassadors, brand evangelists. Okay, you want to turn your customers into your most loyal ambassadors. I mean, we now you have the whole thing about user generated content, UGC. This is an important element in today's content marketing world. Okay, so the goal of a delight video is to encourage your customers to embrace your brand and become brand evangelists. So big decision time, boss. Big decision time. Are you currently at the delight phase of your video marketing strategy, or are you still around the attract, the convert, or the close? It's important because if you have done a good job during the attract, convert, and close phases, your delight phase will be a lot easier. Your first opportunity to delight come directly after the purchase. So what you want to do is you want to consider sending a thank you video to welcome your purchases into the community. People love communities. Okay, everybody wants to be part of a family. So communities are important. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are an online coach, and you are trying to build a learning community where you can actually share your knowledge, you can share your acumen, but at the same time generate revenue. So if people hear the word community, they feel a part of belonging. That's really important. You can also send an onboarding video to get them rolling with their new purchase. Then build out a library of educational courses or product training videos to cater to consumers who prefer self-service or simply want to expand their abilities. And what will happen here is that over time, as you develop your video marketing strategy, there are other types of marketing videos you can create for every stage in the flywheel. Let's quickly talk about how to make a video for your business. Okay, and I mean, I've spoken to you about attracting, converting, closing, and delighting, right? ACCD, and it's important to understand that everything starts with the goal you're trying to reach with your video. Don't try to really follow multiple goals, because it makes the conversation really complicated, especially if you have a large team. And if you have a large team that works from different places in the world, it becomes harder to actually have everybody on the same page, to have some kind of buy-in. So it's important to have to start with one or two goals, and you can expand from there. So the central goal should be very clear. Don't have too many central or primary goals. Have one or two. Okay, so what you want, so from that central topic, from that central context, you actually script your video. By the way, when we talk about scripting or setting up your studio, all that kind of stuff, if you have no idea what I'm speaking about, or if you don't have the knack for doing it yourself, outsource the whole thing. Okay, outsource the whole task. This is a lot easier. It's not a problem. You want to set up your studio also. You want to prepare your talent. Now, it's important to understand that I mean, sometimes it can be complicated, like things like setting up your studio. Maybe you need special equipment for it. Maybe you need to have the right color for your couch. You need to have the right lighting. You need to have the right this, the right that, the right this and that. What you want to do is, again, going back to what I said, you actually have services that actually will actually. There are companies nowadays that will give you an all-in-one studio. So it's kind of similar to having like a co-working space. So you go there, you can rent the studio for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever time you need to shoot your video. So this could be a solution. And this is exactly what a lot of our viewers, a lot of our customers do, especially if you don't have the conditions at home to have a home studio. It's just a lot better to outsource the whole thing, and you can just go there once in a while to record your videos, and that's it. So script your video, set up your studio, prepare your talent. You will need that. And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about video marketing through the flywheel. What are the important things you need to pay attention to, and what type of videos should you create based on the type of flywheel that you have? And then number 4, you want to plan your shot list and get used to your equipment. Very important. Acquiring familiarity, a level of familiarity with your equipment, is also really important. The next thing I want you to do here is to shoot your video. Okay, basically we're talking about the actual face here, and this is where your script will be very important. This is where things like lighting will be important. This is things like heat in the room will be important, or the AC in the room. All those things, the what we call the chronology and the biology of the shooting session. How do you feel? What time do you want to? Because there are some people who are good in the morning, some people are good in the evening, some people are actually alert, if you will, during the day. So this is where chronobiology will play an important role. Then you also need to plan the editing of your video. It takes really a lot of time to edit a video. So, like if you spend, like, say, 2 hours shooting a video, think about spending like 12 hours editing that video. Or again, if you don't have the time for it, or if you don't have the capabilities to do it yourself, intellectually speaking, hey, outsource the whole thing. Outsource the whole thing. There are a lot of videographers on the internet. You have websites such as Fiverr, you have Upwork, you have TopTal, you have freelancer.com, and those very good, very good professionals. They are affordable because they don't have to pay rent. They don't have to pay $3,000 for a studio, as some people have. Some people have to do it in NYC. Okay, if you have someone who is living in a place where cost of living is kind of low, you can afford to pay them less, and they'll be happy anyway. Okay. So after editing your video, you have to choose your music. Always go for sites such as Artlist or Envato Elements, or what's the third name here? We have Story Blocks. Okay, so those are places where you can get copyright-free music. That way you can just you don't have to worry about the legalities of using videos, using music in your videos. Okay, and record your voiceover. Again, here's an opportunity to outsource what I'm talking about. If you don't have the resources in-house, just outsource the whole thing. Okay, and you can focus on what you're really good at, and you want to upload your video. So that's the last phase here. You have done all the touching, the editing, the reviewing, the listening in. Okay, and then it's time to actually outsource the video. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about video marketing through the flywheel. So I actually explained to you what the flywheel really is, and I explained to you what kind of videos you should produce if you are trying to if you are in the attract phase, in the convert phase, in the close phase, in the delight phase, and then I could just give you some explanation about how to make a video for your business. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.